Alright everyone, and welcome back to Vettel Career. In the previous race it was the Chinese Grand Prix and Vettel took his third win of the season, and unfortunately he actually put him out of contention for the championship because Alonso got, I think, 5th or 6th, and that gave him enough points to be 21 points clear now of Vettel. And 1 point in it though between the top two in the championship, and now Vettel can has got a more relaxed attitude now going into the final couple of races, and I mean he'll still be looking to take third place ahead of Kimi Raikkonen. So we head now to the Japanese Grand Prix, just 2 more rounds to go, and in Q1 he was only 14th, and got then Rosberg and Klein both out in the first knockout session. So yeah, a few surprises early on then, and Red Bull not looking too strong after Q1 then, you'd have to say, as into Q2 then Vettel with a big off then in turn 2. He actually made the mistake in turn 1 but ended up in the gravel for turn 2, and yeah, sent back quite a bit then as on his next lap he comes across the line now. Then it's only a 35.7, which isn't a great time, gets him up in the top 10 for now but not for too long, and quite a way off the fastest time, but he's on a good lap. Well, he's just about to start a good lap now then, but there's a car up ahead. It's a Toro Rosso and just rejoins on the middle of the track on the apex, and Vettel, and that's going to be session over for him, and well, he'll be 16th on the grid, and thanks to that it was Toro Rosso of Liuzzi, I believe, that made a mistake and then just rejoined very slowly onto the apex of the corner. Vettel completely inside, of course, a big dust cloud, and yeah, he's out in 16th place and behind both the Toro Rossos. Another big surprise there, Giancarlo Fisichella in the run out then, only 13th place for him, and that's a big surprise. So now go into the grid, and it's Kimi Raikkonen who takes pole then. That's going to really help him in that battle for third in the championship. It's very good news as well for Fernando Alonso as well, the championship leader. He's in second. There's the Honda of Jenson Button there in third. They'll be looking to get a good result here this weekend for their home race, and yeah, they've got a chance there with Barrichello up there in 5th as well. Schumacher will be disappointed there with 6th place, the first of Ferraris there. Then it's Trillian Webber on row 4 with Ralf Schumacher continuing that strong performance then for Toyota at their home race as well. Massa only 10th, there's the 2 BMWs on row 6, Fisichella only 13th then. Both Toro Rossos out qualifying, both Red Bulls for the second time this season. And then further down we've got the 2 Midlands on row 10, and the Super Agrees at their home race round out the grid. So here we are then, on the grid for the Japanese Grand Prix, and the lights are about to come on now. And away we go then for the Japanese Grand Prix, and Vettel with a very good launch there, and he's getting himself past both the Toro Rossos and the Renault with Fisichella already. He's looking at the BMWs as well as they head towards turn 1 now. He's at the inside, he's got 11th place ready it looks like. Into turn 2 he's quite cautious there, and he's been just at the front, so taken away from him by Villeneuve. He's spun it around, and now he's back down to 18th in the blink of an eye. And yeah, all going on at the start of the race. He's already made up 7 places and then lost most of them again. And he's going wheel to wheel with Sato then, who's feeling very racing at his and his team's home race, and Sato maintaining the place for now then, as Vettel's going to have to follow him now round through the Dunlop curves and towards the Degners now then. He's in 18th place after the first sector, which is not where he needs to be, and into second Degner then. The Super Go just so slow through, he needs to get past as quickly as possible, and towards the hairpin now is going to be his best chances. They all bunch up, and at the inside he goes, he's through and past Sato then into 17th place. Now he's looking at Christian Albers in the Midland, and there's the 2 Toro Rossos ahead of him, and yeah, he's almost back to where he started then, and yeah, just fantastic start, and they just all went to nothing almost straight away. But yeah, it's just the way it goes as he's heading through Spoon now then. He's sliding about a lot. He really doesn't need that, because he needs a good run now towards 130R, and of course the Casio Triangle at the end of the lap, as he's just about in the slipstream of the middle, and then he is actually starting to put it in quite a bit now then as they head through a flat 130R. He's got a fantastic run. In fact, he's going to the outside then for the Casio Triangle, and he's through. He almost goes into the back of Speed there. In fact, he does clip him there as they all go fairly slowly out that chicane, but he's thrown into 15th and looking at Liuzzi now and for 14th as they head down the pit straight, and it's wheel to wheel then. Vettel's got the race in line, and it looks like he's got the place done there as Liuzzi didn't really want to back out of that one, but Vettel's got a place now then. He's up into 14th place, and yeah, it's been a good open lap for him now then, as he's got the 2 BMWs there split by Giancarlo Fisichella, who really needs to make up some ground then after that bad qualifying. He really needs to be up there, really needs him up there supporting Alonso in the championship, you'd have to say. So heading through the S's now then, Fisichella well out of shape, and he's off in the Degner, not the Degner, the Dunlop curve, And did he miss the wall there? It looks like he's dropped well down the field. But yeah, that's the place on Vettel. He's up into 13th place, and he's now looking at his fellow countryman Nick Heidfeld then for 12th. Traffic extending quite a lot through the second Egner there, but he's got a good run now towards the hairpin. He's going to dive at the inside. Heidfeld tries to turn him, but no, Vettel muscles him out of the way. Looks like Heidfeld's still trying to fight back there against side by side, but Vettel with the superior line and the superior car is up into 12th place then. See a replay of that then, and yeah, we'll see. Heidfeld really didn't want to give that place up then, turning in when the Red Bull was alongside, and then did try and stay alongside him as they came out the corner, but no. Vettel just with the better line and the better car, as I say. But so here he is now then, he's behind Villeneuve now then, lining him up for 11th place. It's taken a few laps to actually catch him back up. But yeah, the Red Bull looking a lot quicker than the BMW at this stage then, as it has been all season. They've just not got it right there over there. BMW as Villeneuve's got a very, very bad run out of turn 2. And the Red Bull just drives clean past him there. And Villeneuve actually ran wide on the grass there, so yeah, looks like Vettel's got up to 11th. Has he? No, he's clipped the white line and almost had an accident, but yeah, he's looks like he's regained it now then, and there's not going to be anywhere for Villeneuve to pass him up there, so yeah, he's running into 11th place, and we skip a few laps then. A few cars would come into the pits early, and yeah, Vettel in now for his stop, and yeah, he really needs to catch up to the Toyotas here, but he didn't have particularly great pace compared to the AC. One of the Toyotas, I think it's Trilly, that was in the pits at this stage. But yeah, those were who he was really racing. He had to get past them if he was going to challenge for the win today. Well, not the win, points today. As I think it was Mark Webber as well, who was the other one that was who was in sort of 8th place at that time. So yeah, Vettel really not having it too easy today. He was quite away, as you can see, behind Webber and Trilly going by the mini map. And yeah, just the Red Bull not looking as quick this weekend, and it seems to be a track that Vettel struggles at because he wasn't great here last year either. But we're skipping to later on in this lap then. Vettel's doing 14th place, but with a few cars still to pit. Spooner, he's just gone a little bit wide, needs to hit the barrier. And well, that could have been a lot worse, but he has damaged the front end of his car. He's got a damaged front left tyre as well. We'll have to see if that does actually play any part in the handling, but it looks like the front wing is definitely not going to be doing him any favours for the rest of this race now then. And well, he was so lucky that wasn't a bigger accident, to be honest, because yeah, he hit that wall with quite a lot of force there, and he's going pretty quick. As yeah, we now come to the end of the lap then, and we'll see how much that's hurt him. And well, he's nearly 8 seconds now behind the Toyota of Trilly, and he has at least managed to join out ahead of Villeneuve, so he has got comfortably a better pace than the BMWs and the sort of Toroses behind him. So yeah, that's not all bad, but he was struggling with the handling of his car, and Villeneuve did use that chance to catch him back up and did pass in there into Spoon. So yeah, it really is not looking like a great day for him, as he has got a good slipstream there back towards 130, so it does look like he's going to pass him straight back here then. And yeah, in the slipstream, and yeah, well, the high speed part of the track really playing to his hands, but he goes wide in the Casio triangle. Luckily didn't get a penalty like he did in Monza, and Villeneuve is back through those, so that's not going to have done him any favours there. And now he's just going to have to try and rely on that great straight line speed again to get him back the place. He's only got 5 laps to go here, but still a great battle here, only for 11th place. There's no points sadly on the cards today, and through he goes back up into 11th place then. And yeah, we'll have to see. Well, actually we're not going to look back at that. We're going to see Takuma Sato then, his home race, home team, home engine. He's had an engine failure and he's been hit by Christian Ells, I believe, in the Midland. So yeah, really dismal day for Sato. And then on the same lap, Yuji Ide also with an engine failure. So as I say, 2 home drivers with the team's home here and their engine supplier. It's really not what they needed, as Albers goes past them with a broken front wing. And yeah, just not the day that Super Guru were hoping for. But yeah, they're at the back anyway, so I guess it doesn't make much of a difference. As we're on to the final lap then, Vettel had been holding off Villeneuve for the last few laps, but then he made a mistake there, going wide. His tyres were getting off and he was really struggling with that front wing. He's been muscled out by Villeneuve here though, and he spun it. Fisichella went through there as Vettel tries to recover, and there's been a bit of a pilot behind him. Rosberg, it seems, lost his front wing. Liuzzi's gone off, and Heidfeld slipping through there. And yeah, it's just really not what he needs. Just sums up what's been rather a dismal afternoon, as Vettel now passing Rosberg, and unfortunately we couldn't catch a replay of what actually happened in that incident, but it did look like Villeneuve sort of muscled him out wide a little bit as Vettel tried to recover the place. But yeah, still a chance to gain a few places back here. I mean, it's not going to be the 11th place he had been hoping for today, as Villeneuve and Fisichella have both driven off now then. and he's got try and not lose out to both Red Bull cars lose out to both Toro Rosses here, because that would just be rather embarrassing. It was bad enough after qualifying, but yeah, we're heading around now the spoon curve, and well, Vettel's best chance to get a good run on 130R in the Casio triangle would be a good run out of spoon, but he didn't get it, and now Clean is going side by side with him. We head towards 130R, he's at the inside and Clean is through then in 130R. Is Vettel going to try and make a move on him into the Casio triangle? Yes, he is. The two Red Bulls doing battle then. We haven't really seen it at any point in the season apart from maybe Spain, but after an eventful final few laps then, Vettel crosses the line. He takes 16th place at the Japanese Grand Prix. So there are the final results then. It's Kimi Räikkönen who takes the win, and that's bad news then for Vettel in the championship, because that's his main rival for third. Alonso takes second place, and that's really going to have helped him today then with that title charge. But in third then on the podium for Honda at their home race, Michael Schumacher fourth then. That was sort of damage limitation really. He did a good recovery after that qualifying. Montoya and Barrichello fifth and sixth then. Massa seventh then. Those two we head into their home race next time up then. Webber takes the final point then for Williams. Toyota not getting any points of their home race. And looking further down, Fisichella, a dismal afternoon for him then. Dismal weekend really. That mistake of course early on in the race as well. Only 12th for him. Heidfeld 13th in the end. The two Toro Rosses then beating the two Red Bulls in the end, and only just over a second, well actually only about 2.5 seconds separating the four of those cars. There's Albers in 18th, Rosberg with that broken front wing on the last lap dropped to 19th, and I think it's actually Montero who might have actually hit the Super Gurries, one of the Super Gurries, so yeah, it wasn't Albers I don't think. But here are the points then from today's race, Raikkonen with a full 10 points, and it puts him 6 points clear then of Vettel, which is going to be hard to gain back now then with only one round to go. But yeah, still interesting at the top of the table with only 4 points separating Alonso and Schumacher, and further down there haven't really been many changes today then, and yeah, we'll have to see if anything will still be decided then in the final round in Brazil then. And look further down, still a lot of drivers with no points, and McLaren take the full the most points in today, and they close up to Ferrari then, so that's still just about alive then heading into the final round. And looks like Honda has secured 4th place then, so they have got at least that then today, and still 4 teams then yet to score points then this season. So we're back in the home now then, and yeah, Red Bull aren't too happy with that one, and well, not surprised to be honest, and yeah, at least it was a decent battle at the end there with Clean, but yeah, I don't think the Red Bulls really hoped that they'd be battling over 16th place today, and getting a few out of it, a few here, but we're not really worrying about that just now then. So we've now got the Brazilian Grand Prix to look forward to, the final race of the season, and will Renault win again? Will Alonso take that title, the second one of his career, or will it be a 9th for Schumacher? We'll have to find out next time, but if you did enjoy this race, then make sure you leave a like, and I'll see you next time for the finale. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.